Behind the scenes in the NFL, a warning has just arrived directly to the Eagles locker room, my friend, and it involves a prediction that is going to shake every single fan in Philadelphia. One of the most respected analysts in professional football has just pointed to a $29 million rookie as the player capable of dethroning the best slot cornerback in the entire league. And the detail that makes this even more explosive? That rookie is being coached by a man who knows the Eagles better than anyone on the outside. So if you're a true Eagles fan, hit that like button and subscribe right now, because what I'm about to tell you is one of the most intriguing developments of the 2026 offseason. I'm going to break down who this rookie is, why the Pro Football Focus analysis is generating so much buzz, what it means to have a former Eagles assistant now working against Philadelphia, and why the two Cowboys and Eagles matchups in the 2026 regular season are already being circled as must-watch games. But before anything else, hit that like and subscribe to the channel because the Eagles never stop making headlines. There is one slot cornerback who currently sits on the throne of the NFL, a player who in just 2 years became an All-Pro, went to the Pro Bowl, intercepted Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and helped the Eagles win the championship. We're talking about Cooper DeJean, the Philadelphia cornerback who redefined what is possible at the nickel position in this league. But now, according to analyst Bradley Locker of Pro Football Focus, DeJean's reign may have its days numbered. Locker published a detailed analysis stating that Caleb Downs, the rookie cornerback selected by the Dallas Cowboys with the 11th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, has the potential to become the next elite slot defender as early as his first season. This is not a modest compliment, my friend. This is a declaration that Cooper DeJean's throne is under threat before the season even begins. Downs signed a 4-year, $29.1 million contract as a rookie. Coming out of Ohio State, he arrives in the NFL with an athletic profile that caught the attention of the entire league, and the Dallas Cowboys bet a first-round pick on him precisely because they believe he can transform the defense immediately. But the draft position and contract value are only part of the story. The detail that makes this situation truly concerning for the Eagles is who will be coaching Caleb Downs in Dallas. Christian Parker is 34 years old and until recently was the cornerbacks coach for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is the one who worked directly with Cooper DeJean, who helped shape the style of play that turned the cornerback into the best at his position in the NFL. Now, Parker is the defensive coordinator of the Dallas Cowboys, and it was he who selected Downs with the clear intention of installing him as the primary nickel defender of Dallas's defense from the very first game of the season. Do you understand the magnitude of this? The man who turned DeJean into an All-Pro is now trying to create a rival of equal caliber on the most hated team in Eagles history. And Locker was direct in his analysis. Parker has done this before. Beyond DeJean in Philadelphia, he also developed Jaquan McMillian with the Denver Broncos. The track record is documented. Parker knows exactly how to bring out the best in a slot cornerback, and now he has in his hands one of the most promising talents from the 2026 draft class. Parker himself stepped forward to respond to the comparisons with Philadelphia. When asked whether he would try to replicate the Eagles' success, he was emphatic. "This is our defense," Parker told The Athletic. "I don't want it to be called the Eagles' defense or Vic Fangio's defense. This is going to be ours. We've been real intentional about going about that process, from the language that we use to the workflow that we have. It's been real fun." Message sent loud and clear. But before any Eagles fan starts to panic, it's time to understand what DeJean has built and why he is not about to give up his position without putting up a serious fight. Cooper DeJean arrived in Philadelphia in the second round of the 2024 draft, coming out of Toledo. The Eagles selected Quinyon Mitchell in the first round of that same draft, creating a tandem that quickly became the most feared in any secondary across the entire league. Both started immediately, both made an impact from week 1, and both were fundamental to the Super Bowl LIX championship, when the Eagles dominated Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. DeJean specifically wrote his name into history by intercepting Mahomes and returning it for a touchdown in the first half of the Super Bowl. In their second season, the duo took another massive leap. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean both earned All-Pro and Pro Bowl honors for the first time in their careers. That does not happen by accident. That is the result of a franchise that identified two generational talents in the same draft and put them together to dominate an entire generation of passing attacks across the NFL. And that is exactly where the PFF argument needs to be put into perspective. Locker uses the blueprint from the last two Super Bowls to support the prediction that Downs can have immediate impact. The reasoning is valid. DeJean was the elite rookie nickel cornerback for the Eagles in 2024, and the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Nick Emmanwori was the elite rookie nickel cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks in 2025, and Seattle won the championship. There is a clear correlation between having a dominant rookie at the slot position and winning a title. Dallas wants to follow that same path. But there is a fundamental difference that Locker himself acknowledges, even while making the prediction. DeJean is no longer an inexperienced rookie who needs to grow within a system. He is an established All-Pro, a Super Bowl champion, and a player who has already demonstrated consistency in the highest pressure situations in the sport. Dethroning someone at that level requires more than promise. It requires execution on the field week after week against the best offenses in the NFL. So what exactly would Caleb Downs need to do to take over DeJean's spot as the best slot cornerback in the league? First, he would need to show he can cover an open space against fast and experienced receivers with the same efficiency. Next, he would need to demonstrate advanced game recognition, capable of anticipating routes and creating turnovers at an all-pro level. And finally, he would need to do all of that on a team still rebuilding, in a division where the Eagles continue to set the standard of excellence. And speaking of the division, this debate has taken on a very concrete practical dimension for the 2026 season. The Cowboys and Eagles face each other twice during the regular season. The first game takes place in Week 7, broadcast nationally on Monday Night Football in Philadelphia. The second matchup is scheduled for Week 12, this time in Dallas. Both games will have DeJean and Downs on the same field, which turns each of those meetings into a direct test for any claim Caleb Downs might have to the title of best slot cornerback in the NFL. Do you know what this means for Eagles fans? It means every game against Dallas will serve as a direct answer to the debate that Pro Football Focus opened up. If DeJean dominates in both of those matchups, the argument that Downs has taken the throne falls apart quickly. If Downs shows something special in those games, the conversation around the position will intensify throughout the entire season. Now, there is another angle here that the Eagles need to monitor carefully. Christian Parker spends hours every week installing Dallas's defense, and part of that work is built on the deep knowledge he carries about the Eagles' system. He knows how DeJean moves, how he processes coverages, what the indicators are that he uses to anticipate plays. That internal knowledge is a real advantage in game preparation, especially in the weeks leading up to the two divisional matchups. But there is a straightforward answer to that as well. Nick Sirianni's Eagles also know exactly how Parker builds a defense. Both sides arrive at those games with intimate knowledge of their opponent, which makes the Cowboys and Eagles matchups even more fascinating from a technical and tactical standpoint. There are no real secrets in this rivalry anymore, just execution. In the end, what the PFF prediction does most importantly is reinforce the value of what the Eagles have built. The fact that a respected analyst compares a $29 million rookie selected with the 11th overall pick to Cooper DeJean is a direct testament to the standard that the Eagles cornerback has established in just 2 years in the NFL. To reach the throne, Downs first has to get close to it. With Caleb Downs arriving in Dallas to challenge the best slot cornerback in the league, Christian Parker using his internal knowledge to try to build a rival at equal caliber, and two Eagles and Cowboys matchups that promise to be the most watched games in the NFC East in 2026, what is your prediction? Does Caleb Downs manage to surpass Cooper DeJean in his very first season, or does DeJean reaffirm his dominance and end the debate right there on the field? Leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later with the latest Eagles news.